Okay, welcome to the Lobo podcast. Today we have Tim Slagle. Tim Slagle's been doing comedy for about 40 years. He started around the comedy boom of the 80s. So we talk about the boom, cocaine and comedy. It was very common, getting paid, all kinds of things, strippers, 80s, some Florida comedy show, ridiculousness, my wheelchair story, how I used a wheelchair to buy porn, peep shows, this comedy beef with a comedian he had that was pretty funny. We talk about the election robocall. So please, I got a Patreon now. So check out the Patreon. I got some gear, hats, keychains, other stuff. I'm going to have some bonus content. Some solo dents will be on there. So please go follow the Patreon for goodies. And again, James Webb, People of Comedy, hit him up. You want to do a podcast? Give me some ratings on iTunes and I will read them. Okay, Lobo Den. Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. I'm your guest, Giovanni Diaz. We're recording at the People of Comedy studio with James Webb. What's up, James?
You're the guest?
Is that what I said?
That's what you said.
Okay, I woke up early today and I ran. Did I call you the guest? I ran today.
You said I'm your guest, Giovanni Diaz.
Okay, I'm not your guest. Our guest today is, I'm the host of the Lobo Den podcast that we're on. I ran today. And this is the first time I ran in a long time, and
how'd it feel?
It hurt. It was only like 2 1/4 mile, and it wasn't good. But I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm mad at a girl. So, anyways,
no.
But we'll get into. If it comes up, it comes up. All right. My listeners know. Yeah, I have always had issues with ladies, but then women are attracted to me. I don't know. Anyways, today we have, more importantly than me and my women problems. Today we have Tim Slagle. Right?
Hey,
Tim.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
Tim.
here.
He's here. Tim Slagle has been, he's a comedian. He's been doing comedy, is it 41 years?
Yeah, 41 years.
41 years. He was 19. What was the first time you performed? Was it
July 4th, 1979.
July 4th, 1970. I was not born. James is younger than me, so James wasn't born. My mom was born in 63, so I can't do the math. But
Wow. So she might she was about 16.
My mom was 16 years old. I wonder if she was a virgin.
Okay.
I'll ask her. Anyways, and Tim.
She was at one point.
At one point. Aren't we
I
all?
would hope. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fucked up if she wasn't. That'd be a horrible. Imagine the trauma. She could start her own podcast, right? That type of trauma. Anyways, the time I wasn't a virgin ever. Anyways, so when my mom was 16, hopefully a virgin, and I'll find out tonight, and I'll tell you guys next week. And because I'm going to her house after this, Tim Slagle was doing. Is that when? What is it? Is that when you did comedy at a cul-de-sac for like a new wave band, or was that a different time? When was your first time going?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know if it was really a new wave band any more than anybody else. You know, whatever the fad was, that's what they did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a local band, and
how'd you get that gig, or how would you?
I knew the guy. I was going to college at the time, and he was, and I met him in speech class. And he thought the speeches I was doing for the class were funny. And
okay.
He said, "You ever think about stand-up?" I go, I have. He goes, "Yeah, a lot of bands have stand-ups opening for them." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
And so I did it.
How much time did you do? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
You don't remember what you talked about? Or?
I have I have no clue what material I did. I think I can remember the outfit I had on.
What were you wearing? 79. What was that outfit?
Oh, come on. The 79 comic. It was a skinny tie loosened.
Okay.
And a blazer with the sleeves pushed up.
Okay. Do you remember if it was a pleasant experience or if it was not a pleasant experience? It was a good experience. Do you remember that?
I enjoyed it. The band did not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
they were a little...
Are they still around? Are they famous now?
No. I did not. The only guy I kept in touch, the lead guitarist I kept in touch with, the guy that actually got me the gig, I kind of kept in touch with him because he was in the Detroit music scene. And we had a lot of mutual friends, so I would continually bump into him through the years. He passed away about 2 years ago, though, unfortunately.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Do you know how he died? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't want to.
No,
say.
okay.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
don't
quiet part you told me about before the podcast.
There you go.
I asked them.
There you go. Yeah. So some people know him and probably wouldn't appreciate me.
Okay, I appreciate that.
But I think my silence on it probably kind of already gave it away, didn't it?
No,
We could probably guess from here.
but I was gonna. So that was in Detroit, right? Then did you stay in Detroit for like a few years there? Was there a scene?
Stayed in Detroit. Oh yeah, there was. It was just springing up all over.
Okay.
There was.
This is right where the boom started, right?
Just right where it started. Yeah,
Okay.
comedy clubs were opening in all the big cities. All the big cities started having them, and all the small cities wanted a taste. So all the bars were doing comedy nights.
Okay.
So it was just the industry was just opening up at
Okay.
that point. And 86 is when I moved to Chicago.
86. So from there, you were just in Detroit, or were you bouncing around Michigan?
I was doing. I started doing some gigs. I started doing road gigs.
Oh, 'cause
yeah, about 82 is when I
Because you
quit
went pro early, right? Didn't you go pro?
yeah,
like-
about 82 is when I quit my job.
Okay.
And,
So how many? So 3 years.
3 years, yeah. And I figured by 1990 I was going to be a huge star. at that pace.
And then you went pro. What about the people around you went pro that you started with?
Oh God, yeah, we all did. We all there were more clubs than talent.
Okay.
and so like all of us, the whole open mic scene I started with, we all just went straight out on the road.
Okay.
From open mics to the road. It was, they were saying, oh, we need comics, and sometimes they would book the week. You could call a club and book it the week before. It was.
What would
they'd be looking for people.
So were you headlining those first years, or were you?
Oh gosh, no.
No,
I was,
okay.
No, I was
Middle?
opening. I was
Okay,
opening.
opening,
Yeah,
okay.
I started as an MC.
Okay.
But the guys that were coming in to headline, I mean, their names you've all heard. Jay Leno, Gallagher, Bruce Baum was big. Couple guys you probably never heard of, but they were huge. I mean, they were top name ventriloquists, magicians, and then Jay Leno was. Did I say that already?
Yeah, Jay Leno.
Yeah, Tim Allen.
Tim
Yeah.
Allen, right?
Yeah, I actually started right before he went away.
Oh, before he got the sitcom.
No.
Oh, when he got arrested for cocaine.
It was about he was probably in court when I first saw him.
Yeah.
When I first worked with him, he was probably going through the trial.
Oh, so
trial process.
He was a
at that point.
comedian when he got arrested for
Yeah.
selling cocaine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cocaine. So this is when you started. It was the start of the comedy boom, and did the cocaine boom already start, or that's right when it was starting?
They were concurrent.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure some of the first comedy circuits were ways to move, because there was like one club that had a club in Miami, and then one in Jacksonville, and one in Virginia, and one in North Carolina, and the one in New York, and a couple in between. So
Okay.
I mean, obviously, it was here. Take this, put this in your trunk, and don't open your trunk till you get to New York.
Oh, okay. One of those.
And then
things.
whatever they get you, bring it back down. Bring it back down here.
And you worked a lot of, because I remember you talking about Jay Leno. Jay Leno, I remember he would work before the clubs popped up. He was working a lot of it was strip clubs, right? Was it strip clubs? I remember you mentioned a bunch of. Did you work strip clubs or no? Well, Zanies used to be at strip clubs. Is that what
Yeah. I worked one strip club. It was in Wisconsin, right on the Illinois-Wisconsin border.
Oh,
And
okay.
It was.
Was it on the border? That's the name of a strip club that's over there. I've been to.
It could be. Is it like in the middle of farmland?
A little bit, right? If it's off the highway a little bit. What highway is it? Look up on the border, right? There's
Like in between Milwaukee and Rockford, though, right? Like in
now if you're talking about there, now we have a place in Delavan, Wisconsin called Vegas, which is a very small place, so I don't think it worked. And then there's a bigger strip club 10 minutes from Vegas, which is in Delavan, which I forgot. You've never done that lake house by that Sunday room? Kind of by Lake House in Delavan, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think I have done that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 10 minutes from that one, did you go to strip clubs after your set? Okay.
No.
Okay, well, when I do shows in Rockford and I come back, there's a point where I'm coming home from Rockford or Beloit, and I'm going home. There's a point where I'm only 10 minutes away by this strip club called Vegas, which is a dirty, stingy little room that back in the day, allegedly, you can grow up and do more things that maybe you couldn't do in Illinois. I don't know if what was going on when you went to Slagle, but you're right there. And if you're by Delavan, you're like 15 minutes away from 3 strip clubs.
That might be it.
Yeah. It was that one. It's this little short one called Vegas and Delavan, and there's one 10 minutes away from it that's a little bit bigger. But when'd you do that room? Do you remember? Was that?
Oh, that was like 90s.
Oh, okay. Were there? So this was after, before the strippers. You got thrown in. Like how? What's the format of that?
The guy who was running the place wanted to bring back the glory days of burlesque.
Oh, okay.
And
burlesque is stripping with clothes on, right? Is that what burlesque is?
No, it's kind of, but it's campier. Is what it is. It's not. It's not just sitting on somebody's lap and grinding.
Okay.
It's actually like a routine.
Oh, okay.
So he wanted to bring that back, and I was working. The headliner that week, the actual headliner was TT Galore.
TT. Was that? Wait, what? That's on purpose or?
Yeah.
TT.
That was. Strippers don't use their real name. Did you know?
Oh,
that?
the headlining stripper, right?
Yeah, it was the headlining stripper.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a comedy.
No, gosh, no.
I was like, wait,
no,
what?
No. It was the headlining stripper, and it was really funny. It was she wrote on her. It said TT Galore, and they said underneath something like it was 43 double D's. and the local tit freak, the from the club, actually crossed it out and redid it because she felt that she was bigger. It was strange.
So what? It was comic strip. What was the format? Comic stripper.
Yeah, they would put comics in between the strippers. That was the idea. Is that you do like a 5-minute set in between each strip. And boy, the people really were interested in that.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what you come for.
Oh my God.
His comic in between it was horrible.
Oh, it was. Did you ever do? I heard you talk about this one. There was was it this place? It was a place where they had a rule where they could only be open for what? For half an hour. It's a disco from like 4 a.m. to 3:30. They did comedy.
That was Stay Out All Night.
Where was that at?
That was I have no idea. I never got booked there.
Oh, okay. But what was that?
I was never disappointed. Yeah, it was a disco somewhere in the western burbs, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was. They had one of those liquor licenses that they never had to close, but they had to close like for a half hour. So what they would do is like at 4 a.m. they would bring on comedians for a half hour.
Okay.
They'd bring on like 3 comedians and each would do a 10-minute set.
Oh wow, that's painful.
And yeah, to people that have been drinking for 12 hours straight. Yeah, I never did that. I was never fortunate enough.
What was the show? Did you ever do Zany's when it was right? Because Zany's was a strip club, right? The old town.
Yeah.
So it was a strip club, right?
Yeah.
And then they switched it when they started. So that's why there's no strip clubs in Chicago, right? There's the Admiral.
They started cracking out. Wells Street was Chicago's Times Square. I mean, that's where you'd go to adult bookstores.
Really?
Peep shows.
There was peep shows in Wells Street?
There were peep shows up until when did I get there? There were still a peep show, I think. Or at least no, they were. It was private movie booths.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't actually a peep show. Right there at the corner of 1 block south of Zany's, the Bijou.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was gay. It was a gay peep show.
It was a gay peep show. Did you ever go to peep show? When you traveled, you went to New York. See, if people don't know what peep shows are, is it a circle? Right? Is that how it works?
There's like this really weird room.
Okay.
And there's naked girls in there. And you put your money in, and
it's coins at the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you put your quarters in, and the screen goes up.
Yeah, and then the girls dancing. But then they can see you, or you can't see them.
You can tell. You have your pick.
Oh.
You can actually show one where they can see you, or you can be anonymous.
What did you do?
I can't remember.
Okay.
It wasn't. I think she could see me. I think she could. It wasn't my idea.
Okay.
James Inman.
Okay.
Said we were working together. He goes, "Come on, you got to go to SexWorld."
Was he headlining, or you were?
I was headlining that
okay.
week. And he said, "Come on, we'll go to SexWorld. I'll buy."
Okay.
And he
SexWorld, I like
yeah,
that.
it was in Minneapolis. He gave me a bunch of quarters, and he put me in a booth where I could see, and that I could be seen, and then he got a booth directly across.
On purpose, or just
Yeah,
what was open?
so I could watch him pleasuring himself.
Oh wow! Look, SexWorld, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know if they still have the video booth. No, it was not video booth. It was actual. There were real live girls in there.
No, yeah, I've unfortunately I did a video booth one time. Ooh, the Russians, here they come, here they come. We just went to a website and it was open Blu-ray. We purchased used DVDs. They purchased used.
Wait, it says
porno
nude
DVD.
models, live nude models. Yeah, they still have it. Preview any DVD, live nude models.
Really?
Yep.
Oh wow. SexWorld. Hold on. Because I feel like I can get my type of fix there where I can't. This is what happened. I used a booth one time, right? One time I used a booth when I was in
Video booth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's. I don't know if you've ever. You don't have to say it, but it's pretty shameful. I don't know. It's because they clean. I guess I don't know. It's like and this is still VHS days. I did it. I don't know. I went to one and I just watched one over here right on the border by Kenosha. There used to be a strip club there, and like right before you get to the Wisconsin border called Baby Dolls, right? And Baby Dolls, I tried to get in when I was 17. You know, I tried to do the erase. I got a ticket in the yellow part. I scribbled out my name and tried to make it 83 instead of 84 for my birthday. It didn't work. But I remember when I got in there, we actually there was a porno store in there, right? And I remember what I did was I faked an injury, right? So my friend broke his leg, right, playing football. So I had the great idea, and I was like, you know what? I tried to go in there once and buy porno, and they kicked me out as soon as they saw me, right? So they kicked me out. I was like 16 or 17. So my friend broke his leg, and I was like, I have a great idea. You have a cast. I was like, let me borrow your cast. So we took his cast, went to the Gurney Mills Mall, right? I went to the booth with the cast, and they gave me a wheelchair. Threw the wheelchair in the trunk of my car, drove up to Kenosha or wherever to Wisconsin because I figured they're not going to cart a kid in a wheelchair. So, and we recorded it on VHS. I still remember, right? And I'm like rolling in there, and I'm like, here we go, and I'm growling. They're not saying anything, and I roll to like an aisle or two. I grab like a movie or two, and I go up to the register. Movies, they don't card me, and it was like, I don't know. At that point, it was one of the greatest achievements of my life, like because. And the videos, I don't know, James are younger, but they were like $60 a piece for the pornos or something like that at the time.
Somebody just posted something from on Facebook from 1984. I think it was Ghostbusters. Pre-order now. It was an ad for an appliance store. Pre-order Ghostbusters now.
Okay.
Only $59.95.
Oh wow, VHS. I'm guessing.
Or beta.
Oh,
you can
84,
have
right?
your pick. Yeah.
No, 84. Oh man.
Yeah, which is I did the calculation. $131 in 2020 dollars
For Ghostbusters.
for Ghostbusters for a copy on VHS.
I hope it was I hope. I hope it was the first one.
I can't imagine anyone loving Ghostbusters. $131.
Well, I really wanted the gun or whatever when I was a kid. I don't know. I thought it worked, but this, like I'm saying, the Zanies. After Zanies was a strip club, didn't they have the same format when they went?
Yeah. What happened with Zanies? The city started cracking down, so they closed a lot of the. I think they took the liquor license. You couldn't have dancing and liquor license. I think that's what it was, or something.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so the guy who, Rick Hewitt owned the building, and the guy who was renting it from him couldn't pay rent anymore, so Rick took it over. And Rick said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
So he said, yeah, I'll do comedy. And that's what he did. He had no idea how a comedy show should be run, so he ran it just like a strip club. He'd book like 5 acts for the evening, and there'd be one MC, and ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ted Hollum. And then Ted Hollum would do 5 minutes, and now here's Larry Reeb.
Larry, right?
Larry would
Did
do 5 minutes. Yeah.
Uncle Larry. So you guys were at the same time with Uncle Larry when you came to Chicago? Were you starting around the same time?
No, he was. The first time I worked with Uncle Larry was in Windsor, Ontario, right across from Detroit. and he was a big deal because he was the house MC actually at Zany's at that point.
Okay. At
And,
Old Town, right?
Yeah, in Old Town. He had just started touring. That's when I first met him. When I came to Chicago, they had gone to the 3-act format that everyone else had at that point.
Host, feature, headliner. What's the first club you got into when you came to Chicago? Was it Zany's or
Zany's? Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
What else was there? Was there stuff around that I don't know about at the time?
Yeah, there were a few other things. There was like the Comedy Cottage out in Rosemont.
Okay.
Which is now underneath a high-rise hotel, I think, where it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little road. It was actually just a little roadhouse. It was a real cool, funky place. When I got there, it was pretty much just Zany's, I think, and I think maybe the Funny Bone out in Naperville, perhaps.
Okay.
But it just everything just opened. Zany's, they opened a Mount Prospect location, they opened a Pheasant Run location.
Pheasant Run, that one just
they
closed
also
down,
had they also had a club in Kalamazoo. They had a club in Nashville, of course. They opened one in Little Rock, Arkansas. I mean, they were starting to expand when I got into
so Chicago was the first one before Nashville? Or they
I think Chicago and then Nashville, but Nashville was already there by the time I came. But I mean, all these other ones opened, and then they decided to withdraw within just Chicago. But then the Improv came to town, the Laugh Factory came to. I think it was
the Laugh Factory was just maybe 7 years ago, because I remember when
it's 2012.
2012.
No, not that one. There was one out in the suburbs, I think.
Oh, okay.
Catch a Rising Star opened a club.
Oh, there was a Catch over here.
Yeah. There was all the clubs started. They thought Chicago was wide open as far as comedy because all there was this little, 50-seat room called Zany's.
Yeah.
And what they didn't realize was that across the street from Zany's was Second City.
Okay.
And Chicago was never. When people think of comedy in Chicago, it's improv.
Yeah.
And it's so they didn't when they calculated, they say, okay, well, let's see, we got 3 million people, one comedy club. Oh, it's wide open, and they're not realizing that the 50 that how many comedy seats Second City would take up.
Yeah,
and so it never and also Chicago, it's a little peculiar. It's the audience, the demographic that was into comedy in Chicago was. Maybe it's 300,000 because I mean you have all these non-English speaking people in Chicago.
Polacks.
You have yeah
Mexicans. I'm Mexican. But I speak English.
Oh, Koreans, Ukrainians, Hmong. I mean, you can travel around the world in Chicago in a taxi cab.
Yeah.
So it's so they never really they looked at the raw population. They never really looked at the demographics.
Which stage were you when you came to? There's these different stages, right? Can you pull up his website? There's I want to ask you about like where were you at in your life in these different stages? Go to Tim Slagle and then go to hairstyles, because you now you if go down more right there, and then because now you are in the I don't want to say but you have a more conservative hair. Because when I first saw where is it? Gallery of Hair. Go to Gallery of Hair. Right there, Gallery of Hair. Right, and then. Okay. So we're going to pull up. There's these different. You see that Slagle right there, middle left, right? Middle left. When I went to see Zany's, right, and I saw your name. I looked up and I saw Zany's Old Town. I saw a picture. I forgot what I went to see, and I saw that one, and I was like, wait a second. There's more. I didn't know this, Tim. Like what? This one with the goatee thing. What? Tell me about this, Tim Slagle. Where were you at in life?
Okay, the first one, the center, the top center. That was actually taken at Zany's,
the NXS one
in Little Rock,
right here.
Yeah, the
Middletown
Robert Smith one.
Yeah, Robert Smith. Okay, the Cure. Okay.
Yeah, that was Zany's at Old Town. So that was about when I came to Chicago.
And where were you at, like mentally? I see. Is that the leather jacket? What are you wearing? I see the white tee, and I see black right here.
Yeah, the leather jacket. The leather jacket came in. Shortly after, because everyone was doing. I was doing the blazer with the T-shirt underneath at the time.
Okay.
But everybody was.
Okay. And then I'm guessing you were single was you single at this point? 'Cause you're married now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was single. I was single at that point. I got. She married. She married. What?
She married?
Yeah, my wife.
Okay.
She married the middle right.
Okay, middle right. Your
That's what
cigarette.
she-
Are
yeah,
those
that-
dreads,
that-
or I can't tell if they're dreads?
Those are dreads.
When did you have dreadlocks?
It started the one on the one middle left.
Okay.
I think that was about 90. No, that wasn't 96. It was no, that was like 91. I think was that one. So you can that was the start of the dreads right there.
Started in
You can see
91.
that I started dreading them.
So 91. Is this when the boom started coming down? Early 90s.
Yeah, there was far more clubs than there was audience.
Okay.
And they were just giving away tickets.
Okay.
They couldn't, and nobody was making. The only people that were making money in the early '90s in comedy was Kinko's.
Okay. Oh, what is it? Well, the non-comedy people know. You're papering a room.
Papering a room is
printing
what it's
out
called.
free tickets.
Printing out free tickets and handing them out to anyone that would come. So that was like the early '90s, and all the clubs thought that they would survive.
Okay.
Everyone wanted to be the last one in.
Okay.
And by the mid '90s, it was Zanies, Riddles. All jokes aside, I think was that.
All jokes aside on the South Side, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was it. That was all that was left by the mid '90s.
And she married. Okay. Why'd you get dreadlocks? Were you doing? Was there a change of what's going on in your?
Just something new.
Okay.
Well, I was doing a lot of pot jokes.
Okay.
I guess so. That probably would explain it.
Okay.
And yeah, that was about '96. Was the first dreadlocks.
Was the first dreadlock? Who's this blonde guy? Blonde top. You got the earring here. I don't know what kind of earring that is. You got his earrings hanging on the left side.
Yeah, that was about '89.
I don't know if that's a Barry Bonds or if that's a feather. I can't tell.
That's a crucifix.
That's a crucifix. Okay, all right. Barry Bonds out, and then you got blonde in the top, and the sides are dark.
Which is kind of funny because back then I was bleaching my hair white on the top, and it was black, and black was the normal color.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really funny now is that white is my normal color, and I'm dyeing it black on the top. So I've come full circle.
Now, what was going on with this Tim Slagle? What were you talking about at the time? Were you, what year that was? Crucifix earring, Barry Bonds. Were you fighting people? It looks like you like to fight, or no?
I had just started doing political stuff at that point.
Okay.
I had just started becoming political.
What got you into doing political comedy? What were you referred to as a libertarian comic or something like that?
Yeah. I've always been libertarian, but it started working its way out into my comedy, and so that would have been the.
Were you afraid to talk
80s.
about it at first, or?
Well, you got to make it funny.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's and now I don't even want to be referred to as a political comic because it's not funny.
Oh no.
people. I mean, that's the biggest problem is making politics funny. And if you could do it, it's great. But now people are just shouting their positions. It's not funny anymore.
No, people are just violent now. I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're burning. What happened? Something happened with Biden today. Biden's son. I saw somebody sent me a picture and he was smoking a cigarette.
The New York
No, it's
Post.
a crack pipe.
Oh, it was a crack pipe?
Yeah, he's passed out with a crack pipe.
It's the glass ones, right? For people who don't know about crack pipes, if you go to a gas station, you ask for a rose. They give you a rose inside a glass pipe. Oh, that's what that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what my friends texted me and called me crack. My friend sent me a text message with this picture and called me or said Joe Diaz or Biden Diaz or something like that. They were making fun of me. They were calling me a crackhead. This makes sense now.
Yeah, as apparently the story goes, it's kind of interesting. As a guy dropped off a computer at a Delaware computer shop.
Okay.
And to have it fixed, and the guy he tried to contact the guy who had dropped it off, and he never came to pick it up, and it just sat there for years.
Okay.
And then finally he said, "Okay, well, it's mine." And then said, took a look at the hard drive, and there were pictures. Apparently he liked to videotape himself when he was in the company of women of lesser virtue.
Okay.
and smoking crack with them. So apparently there's pornographic video of Hunter. There's the one that they released is the one with him passed out with a crack pipe.
Oh, let me read this. To begin dating while he was recovering from a crack binge, which he explained in a New Yorker interview last July, took place while grieving with his brother's death. Oh, yeah. Didn't he get with his brother's ex-wife or something like that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
After like,
And then in the meantime, knocked up a hooker. Or a stripper. I'm
a
sorry.
stripper.
Knocked up a stripper, and
Like Drake.
and she said and denied that it was his baby, and actually
until the test.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Shout out to-
actually took the
here
DNA
it is.
test. What an idiot!
yeah.
Pay her off.
He subsequently denied to pay the child support. Mom suing his Biden son's paternity man. Oh, okay. He got a stripper. Oh, you know
A
what?
dancer named Dallas.
For real. I was told by I have a friend who smokes crack, right? And he told me the other day, he's like, Giovanni, never smoke, right? He's like, never smoke, because allegedly, occasionally, I've done cocaine before, occasionally, but he's like, never smoke crack. He's like, he felt guilty if I were to do it. He said, like, if you ever smoke crack and have sex, like, he said, well, like, your dick's gonna be hard, you're never gonna go back, and you're just gonna be getting high and trying to have sex. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but he told me never to smoke crack. I don't know.
One time.
Oh,
For
one
me.
time you smoked?
One time, yeah.
Were
It
you?
was a headliner working. Was at the Comedy Castle in Detroit, and the headliner we didn't call it crack then. We called it freebasing.
Oh, okay.
And he showed me. He took the vial and packed it with baking soda, mixed it with it, and then boiled it and knocked it out. I mean, he did the whole thing, the whole thing backstage. Heated it up with a butane lighter till it got it boiling, and then took a Coke can and crunched it and did the little thing,
The little dots, yep.
and the Coke can. And he goes, "You want to try it?" And it's like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, but
And as he's applying the lighter to it, he says to me, he goes, since I started doing this, I've cut my pot smoking in half. Oh.
what an upgrade.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a nice rush.
But think about it. Hold on. Think about it, because isn't crack just it's just cocaine you're smoking? It's just you're only high for about 30 minutes and a little bit more potent, right? Do you remember the feeling? Isn't that what it is, though? I don't think there's much of a difference, right?
Yeah, no, that's all it is. It's just it's in between. It's in between snorting and mainlining. It just
What's mainlining? Is that when you shoot it up?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can shoot up cocaine.
You can shoot up anything. You can shoot up ketchup.
Not in Chicago. Not in Chicago. So you must have seen a lot of that in the 80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Was everybody on coke or?
A lot of people were, yeah.
Yeah.
One comic actually posted. One of the guys I started with, he actually posted. He said a little thing back on the Usenet, before there was a social media.
Okay.
Said, "Dear God of comedy, please let there be another boom, and I promise I won't even say cocaine." a lot of the money that comics should have paid for their retirement ended up in Colombia. Yeah.
Yeah, and ended up in cocaine, because it was common, right, for people to get paid in cocaine, right?
There were clubs that did it. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, because you're paying.
Well, usually what would happen is the comic would go out and party, and it's like, hey, can I have a little bit more? Hey, can I have a little bit more? And then at the end of the week, it's like, well, here's your money, and here's your tab.
Oh, okay.
And it was almost even.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I didn't know. It's like, what, you thought we were giving it to you?
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's like when you were a stripper, right? And she's giving you all those dances, and you think she likes you, and they're free.
What happened was there was a story. It was one comic, actually nothing all week, just didn't touch it all week. So when it came time to get paid, it's the booker said, here you go, just gave him a big bag of. He goes, what's this? He goes, well, that's for the week. It's like, I can't pay rent with this. He's like, well, you can sell it. It's worth, it's worth more than you contracted for. It's like, no, I don't want to be.
Where was this club at? Do you know what state was this in?
Florida. Surprise.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, this is bullshit. He goes, give me my money or I'm calling the cops. And then they beat the shit out of him. And he got nothing for the week.
Who were the owners? Italian dudes, white dudes, Cubans, Puerto Ricans?
No.
Puerto Ricans own stuff.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think there were any ethnicity you would think.
Okay.
It's like
just Floridians, which is
Floridians.
Yeah, I meant what was what were one of your least? Was Florida? I've always heard bad things about comedy in Florida, at least South Florida. Is that one of your? Do you have least favorite places you would perform when you're on the road?
Yeah,
or?
Florida was the only place where I had to perform for nobody.
Oh, what happened there? What was that?
Nobody showed up.
Okay.
It was I got booked. And
South Florida or where in Florida?
Tampa. I think it was Tampa.
Okay.
And I get to the club. There's no one in the room. Absolutely no one. And the owner goes over and he goes, "Are you going to start the show?" It's like, no one in here. He's like, "I'm paying you, aren't I?" I go, "What? Seriously? You want to get paid?" Good evening, nobody. Welcome to the comedy night in Tampa. And
literally nobody? Was there like a couple or
nobody?
It was
literally nobody. It was he like popped in from time to time to make sure I was doing my time, and then the staff was there.
Okay,
but that was it.
So there was literally nobody you were performing for.
Literally nobody in the audience. No.
How did you do it?
Staff liked me. I got along with the staff well back then.
Would you like to perform? Were there any good places that weren't? I have my places where.
Yeah. I still love Minneapolis. Acme in Minneapolis still my.
Is that your home club? You always.
Kind of, yeah.
feel?
Yeah, it's my second home. I've been there. They've been open. They're about to. They just hit their 29th year.
Okay.
Opening, and I've been there pretty much since year one, twice a year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've been. I've actually, if you figure 2 weeks a year for 30 years, that's over a year that I've lived in Minneapolis.
Okay.
So yeah, it's my second home.
And then where do you live now? Are you in the suburbs? Are you in the city?
Yeah, I'm in the suburbs.
Okay, that's what I like. You prefer the suburbs? I do.
Especially
Especially after this year.
Yeah, no kidding. There's things I liked about living in the city. There's things I missed. It was the first time we went grocery shopping. We went to the grocery, because living in the
burbs,
living in the city, you go grocery shopping. You can either walk to the grocery store and carry back 2 bags, or you can drive to the grocery store and then drive around for a half hour looking for a parking place 2 blocks away, and then carry it 2 bags at a time from your car to the. It just first time we were in the suburbs. First time we went grocery shopping. First of all, the thing, it was really funny. We get out of the grocery. So we had been in the city so long. We get out of the grocery store, and leave our cart right outside the door and start taking our groceries. And my wife goes, "I think you can push it up to the car." It's like. Oh, yeah. I forgot you can do that here. So.
Or in certain suburbs, they bring it right to you. They bring it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Sunset.
Oh, yeah.
Foods.
Yeah. No, there was a Strachan Ventil does that as well. So we take it to the car. We unload it. Drive it home. I back into the garage, hit the remote control to open the automatic garage, and back up my car 10 feet from my refrigerator. And it's like, okay, there's advantages.
Yeah, I can't. I honestly, I get weirded out a little bit. Not so much when I come here. I feel, now in the city, I feel a little bit weird. I feel like what is it? I don't know. I get scared a little bit. I see the buildings. There's people. I think people are going to hit me. I'm kind of starting to like being outside in the suburbs. You lived on Wall Street, right? Strip.
Yeah.
Did you live near Farley? Did Farley live around that area or no? Chris?
Farley lived. I think it was 2 doors down from Zanies.
Okay.
It was on the same side. There was a I don't know if it's still there. There was a Mexican restaurant right next to the smoke shop.
Okay.
He lived over there.
Okay. And did you guys hang or just you
Oh, yeah.
would see him at the bars, right?
Yeah, I'd see him at the bars.
Okay. And he did cocaine, didn't he?
I heard.
Yeah.
Farley did everything. Farley lived life to the fullest.
Okay. And then you didn't have any bad or good interactions with him at the bars?
No, never. He was always a sweet guy. Always nice. Always, Never. He was not he would get ripped, but he was never angry. He was
Okay.
he wasn't an angry drunk.
Okay, that's
he was
good.
he was a great guy.
Okay. Did you have grudges against anybody? Like any club when clubs went down and closed down, were there people that weren't booking you that you kind of look back and you're like, that's what you get? Or how was your relationship with the bookers and the club owners?
Some bookers I got along with, some I did not. Some just never got Slagle. They never found Slagle funny. So
People didn't pay. Did you always get paid?
Oh, here's a funny story. The Rosemont Club, the guy who booked it, but is no longer with us. I can tell the story.
The one underneath the
yeah,
high-rise?
the one that they bulldozed.
Okay.
I was told it was like the first time I was working there. I think it was headline. First time I was headlining, and everyone just don't take a check. Whatever you do, don't take a check. Do not take a check from this guy. Do not. So it's the end of the week, and it's so how'd you like to get paid? And it's like, we like check, okay? I go, I really need cash. And he goes, oh, all right. And so he goes in the back room and he counts it up and gives me a stack of cash. And I did need cash because I hadn't eaten that day, so I stopped at McDonald's on the way home. And I go through the drive-through, and I peel off a $10 bill off the top and hand it to the drive-through window, and they come back about 2 minutes later. They said, we can't take this. It's counterfeit.
Is this guy still around?
He passed away.
Oh, okay.
He passed away about 3 years ago.
Okay, rest in peace.
Yeah,
person.
but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. The rest of the cash was good. It was just he just took it out of the till and he got a bad 10 and passed it on to me, and it just happened to be right at the top of the stack. It's like, oh yeah, maybe I would have been better off with the check. The irony was
with the check. Did you get beat up? Did you get beat up in Indiana? Were you at a club or something? Did you get beat up in Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mobsters or no?
No, Marines.
Oh, Marines, right? Was it because of your jokes or what happened? Was there a lady involved?
It just there was a lady there. There was no lady involved. They just made a smart ass remark, and I did not. That was
which hairstyle was it?
Yeah, that was second. That was the one you said. Did you get in a lot of fights with that one?
Okay, so that was was that blonde top?
Blonde top, yeah.
Blonde top.
Blonde top, yeah. New leather jacket, and
okay.
That was yeah. And they I made a few cracks, and it's like they said something like, "When's the last time you got a haircut?" or something like that, and I go, "Probably about the last time you read a newspaper," and then the fun started.
When did who won the fight? Was it the other comics get in?
Oh, me against 3 Marines. What do you think?
Then nobody. Where was your middle at? The host? Nobody jumped in with you?
It was. I think the middle act went to get security.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think happened, and then the girl started screaming at him, and it was like just a typical. You guys need to get your hands off my boyfriend. It was just the classic.
You know what's funny?
It was like a trailer park rumble.
The one place where I almost got beat up, where some guy went up to me on stage, was like, "You say," because the owner was heckling us, and the owner's friend went up to me. He's like, because I started talking about the owner, he was like, if you talk about him, I'm going to punch you in the face. That place, it was run by Jordan Hart. That you had a beef with him online. What was that beef about, right? I remember, he was the host. He was the host of that show. It was in like Portage, Indiana, right? Did you guys have some Facebook beef like 5 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, it would have been 6 or 7 years ago. Is we just we worked together. We did a there was a showcase night at a club in Indiana.
Okay.
And we worked together, and and back then I was just everyone I worked with I friended on Facebook after I got we were friends on Facebook. And he said I don't know who started it, but it was about the Flint water thing.
Okay.
And was it the Detroit water thing? Yeah, I think it was Detroit that they were actually turning off people's water.
Okay.
And I think he said, "Boy, this is just criminal that they would do that. And people have a right to water." And I said, "Well, yeah, water's free. What you pay for is someone to bring it to you, and then haul it away when you're done with it. That costs money.
Okay.
And you have to pay people for that." And he that made no sense to him. He's like, well, what are they supposed to do? I go, it's Detroit. It's right on the river. and he's like, oh, so they're supposed to get water and dip a bucket and carry it back to their house? I go, that's what they do in the third world where people don't pay someone to bring it to them. Yes, that's. and he was just could not believe that I would be so ignorant to say something like that. And he eventually said, I can't talk with you anymore, Tim Slagle. I've been trying to educate you.
Wait, he's a lot younger than us.
Yeah.
He's younger than me.
Yeah.
Early 20s, maybe.
Yeah.
Early 20s, right?
Yeah, at least, yeah, back then, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And he said, I just can't. I can't educate you. You refuse to learn. It's like, oh, I thought we were having a discussion. I didn't realize you were being I was being educated,
indoctrinated,
that my ignorance was being cured. And he said, I don't know why you're still in comedy, because every time I've had to go on stage after you, which I guess was more than I remembered. He said, every time I have to go on stage after you, you suck out all the positive vibes from the room, and I always have a bad set. And I go, well, let me educate you, Jordan. We used to call that getting blown off the stage. And he says, oh, that's it. I'm done. And he goes, and let me tell you, in 1 year, I'm going to be more famous than you.
Oh, yeah.
So a year, I marked the date on the calendar. And every July 26th afterwards, I would look him up, and I'd have all the people I paid go over, say hi to Jordan Hart, ask him if he's more famous than I am yet. And that was like that was 6 or 7 years ago.
So is Jordan more famous than you now?
He could be, which is really sad. It's as I pointed out, that's a real low bar to aspire to.
Well, I've never heard of him. So
No, he's back on Facebook maybe a year or two ago, because he got off of he released an album, right? You know what I mean? I remember. It was weird. It was like I remember he was attacked for that a little bit, for releasing an album. I'll give him that. He did get us paid at that night, that show, after the bartender or the owner was wasted or whatever. But he released an album, which is audio recordings they put together. And then I remember there was controversy over that, and he was off of Facebook completely. But now
there was controversy, like what
are you doing?
Was it actually him on stage? Was it a comedy album, or was it just him doing poetry? Reading?
Yeah, I don't think it would have been that much of a difference. But I remember he released that. But now he's back on, kind of like fighting the Facebook fighting, right? That's even look.
Again?
I used to do that. Yeah,
he's still trying to educate people.
Yeah. But now he's educated. Now I think he's shifted. Now, if I watch him, he's come right a little bit more, from what I see, in my opinion, right?
Huh?
He's he was hard lived when my parents left, right, at the time. That type of my parent, white rich kid, Marxist or whatever.
Yeah.
That he was there, and now from what I see, and he's fighting. I hate using the word.
that's why I can't find him. I blocked him.
Well, yeah, he was your classic basement Marxist.
Yeah,
when he
there we
was
go. That's
fighting
the
with
word.
me, fresh out of college, still no job, more dreams than reality.
Yeah.
And then so I mean, if his parents finally threw him out of the basement, he's gonna find out that things like property are important.
Yeah.
Concepts like property are important, and that you do have to pay someone to bring the water to your house.
Do you are you excited for the is the election this month?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
November.
Well, this next month, but it's within a month.
3rd, right?
November 3rd.
Yeah, it's 3 weeks away.
Are you excited about Election Day?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's going to happen after?
I don't know.
Like,
right now I'm going to worst case scenario.
Okay.
Worst case scenario is that election night we know nothing.
Okay.
There's going to be an apparent winner, but the votes aren't going to be counted yet.
Okay.
And then the votes are going to be counted, and I think that the original numbers are going to skew Trump, and so I think what's going to happen is like all these ballots are going to start pouring in. It's like, oh, we found another bag of ballots that somehow, we got to recount them, and then they're going to recount them, and there's going to be court fights, and this is going to go on up until December 8th, which is the date that the Electoral College has to be named.
Okay. Is
December 8th. And it's going to go on, and they're going to try to extend it past the recounting, past December 8th. At that point, some legislatures are just going to go, well, we don't care. We're going with this count, which is what they did in Florida back in 2000.
Bush and
Bush
was
v.
it Gore?
Bush
Yeah,
v.
Bush and Gore.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to say, well, the Supreme Court has affirmed that we can certify electors without the count being finished, and that they're going to do that, and then people are going to scream, and then it's going to what's going to happen on the 14th when they vote? I don't think anybody's going to get a majority because a lot of states are going to say, oh no, we weren't done counting yet, so we didn't appoint electors, and so the way the Constitution is, well, tough. You had your chance. You didn't. So they're going to count the electors. Nobody's going to have a majority. So then it's going to go to the House of Representatives. And if the House does not change, because when it votes, it's not the whole House voting, is that each state only gets one vote. And nobody knows this.
No. I have no idea.
Nobody, yeah. Most people say, whoever gets the most votes, that's the president. That's, when you try to explain, well, no, it doesn't work that way, and try to explain the Electoral College, already half of America goes, well, that sounds pretty crooked.
Yeah.
And then so, when they appoint electors that haven't been voted on, the votes haven't been counted, well, that's really crooked. So by the time it gets to the point where it's the House of Representatives, and then they're going to say, what do you mean every state only gets one vote? Well, you're making it up as you go along. It's like, no, this is the way the Constitution is. And if the House of Representatives does not change, Trump will win the House vote.
Okay.
Because 27 states are Trump, 23 states would be Biden. If the demographics of the House, at which point, I hope it's really cold because that way only the southern cities will burn.
Because I'm thinking about going to L.A. for Thanksgiving, so I wonder should I reconsider my trip? So this is right around Thanksgiving because I want to go visit family. And then at least when I'm at home, I have multiple firearms at my house.
Like I said, it's either going to be over on November 4th, or it's going to drag on all the way to the new year if it goes through the Electoral College. Like I said, the procedure. Like I said, that won't happen until January.
Okay.
So, I think Thanksgiving's safe.
Okay. So, all right. We'll see what happens. I've been,
You're going to have to quarantine in L.A. for 14 days?
I don't know how any of this works. Look, honestly,
I have to stay here 14 days
Where'd
now.
you go? Because you went to...
I came from Indiana, so I got to...
Really?
After the podcast, I'm gonna stay here, Jeff.
We're gonna stay. We got to stay
James,
in this room.
I'm sorry,
Jeff.
It's fine. That's the coronavirus.
Have you been getting?
already
Tricking the
got it.
brain.
Have you been? Are you back on stage? Have you been performing now?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I actually have. I've done 2 shows in Minneapolis. I did I did my Crash and Burn show there, which is just always fun.
Okay.
It's what I do is I invite three headliners to come, and the 4 of us write 20 minutes each.
Okay.
And we start on Tuesday with material we've never done on any stage anywhere, and then we work help each other with our sets, and then we try to get a really good solid show by Saturday. So
okay.
It's a blast. That was just the 9th time we did it. And,
okay.
That was a few weeks ago.
Did you do a show where when they first made cigarette smoking illegal?
Oh,
did
yeah.
you do a smoking show or something like that?
did.
How did that go? Was that a success? It was in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah, that was Minneapolis. Minneapolis. They were starting. It was you could smoke in bars. You kids might not realize that, but it wasn't that long ago. You could smoke in a bar.
Yeah.
And they were pushing the smoking ban. And I had found out that there was a little loophole in the Minnesota law that theatrical performances could still allow smoking on stage, actual smoking. You didn't have to use candy cigarettes. You could light cigarettes on stage. So what I did was I decided that we would do an improv show where with audience participation called Smoking, and the show would be called Smoking in a Bar. And we got police tape, and we sectioned off like we essentially made a smoking section.
Okay.
But this was how far the stage is going to go out into the room. So if you don't want to smoke, then sit on the other side of the tape. And we all lit cigarettes, and I did a show, even though it was against the law, but they couldn't. It was loophole.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get arrested or anything like that?
No, gosh, no. But there were people from the Lung Association filming it just to make sure they were going to. So I think somebody called the police on us. The police are like, nothing we can do.
You were like a Two Live Crew kind of, right? But with smoking comedy.
We made the evening news. It's I think on my YouTube page. I think it's I still have the news item where it happened, and it actually became a fad in Minnesota. Is that bars all over the state started hosting improv nights. And there would be like one night a week that you could actually go into the bars and smoke, and they said it was an improv show.
Oh, it was an improv show. Isn't that what people are doing now with protest, right? Like you can do at a restaurant. I saw something there was a restaurant.
God, yeah.
Yeah, so you just say it's a protest, right?
Yeah.
Because protests are exempt from the coronavirus, because you guys know that the Chinese viruses don't like peaceful assembly. So yeah, I saw a restaurant in Wisconsin. I saw a comedian. She was a union gatherer. I think that's what she did for a living. But I saw a post about some sushi place or
a union gatherer.
I don't know. Her job was to try to unionize people or something.
Oh,
like that.
okay.
It probably has a name. I know. I remember one.
Rabble rouser.
Yeah. That was her job. But they were attacking some place in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, never mind. Should I not say her name?
You can say her name.
Is it Ariel?
Oh no. She used to live up here, and then she moved up by Green. I just forgot her name. She moved up by Green Bay, but I saw her post about it. I saw people they're like, get that place, blah blah blah, and everybody started going on their Yelp and attacking the restaurant or something like that.
My wife, she was a nurse, and she got a phone call one night from the Teamsters. They said it's
the driving truckers union, right?
Yeah. And they said, if you want, we can represent you. We can promise you benefits. We can promise you. And she hung up. I go, who's that? And she said, well, it's the Teamsters. And I go, really? She goes, yeah. They want to see if I want to unionize. And it sounded pretty good. And I said, honey, did you ever give the Teamsters your phone number or tell them where you lived or? She goes, well, no. Go, doesn't that creep you out that they just called you? She went, and she went to work the next day, and there were some of the other nurses were saying, hey, did you get a call from the Teamsters? She goes, yeah. And she goes, did any of you give them your number? And they all went, ugh.
The Teamsters has always been associated a little bit with organized
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa on organized crime.
Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa was the Teamsters president. They the Vegas when what's his face started Las Vegas when it was first when the mob first started Vegas. It was Teamster money that he started with.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a.
No, I don't. I get a lot of those calls now. I get all those. Do you guys get the robocalls?
Not as much anymore.
The air warranty. What'd you do? Oh, you have an Android. I have an iPhone.
I have an Android. It doesn't matter though. They'll get you. But I used to get the fucking your warranty on your car. So
yeah.
I haven't had a car in fucking 3 years. So what are you calling me for?
or the air duct cleaning place. I still get that one a lot.
I love to have fun with them when they finally ask for your social security number. Just rattle off anything.
Yeah.
And and usually by about the 20th digit they realize they're yanking them.
What's the longest you've kept them on the phone?
Well, there's actually another thing you can find on YouTube where actually somebody told me that I was going to jail. Because
this dude at work was believing it, but he's like, this Puerto Rican dude, and I just bought him something on Amazon, but he was like, he's like, dude, he went up to me, he's like, hey Giovanni, the FBI needs my money because I'm a felon. And like, people buy it. My grandpa got scammed, my friend's dad got scammed, you know what I mean? Like they're like, oh yeah, or that FBI scream thing comes out, and people, so like, I'll give some advice. Don't get, if the FBI isn't gonna call you like that, they're gonna show up to your house. Right? I mean, like, they're gonna show up to your house. There's gonna be flash bombs.
Yeah, there's either gonna be a guy in a suit knocking on your door, or 5 guys in SWAT gear with a battering ram.
Yeah, so either way, it's gonna.
You'll know.
You'll know.
It's not gonna be a guy calling from Pakistan.
All right, do you have any? Now that people are doing comedy, okay, we'll start wrapping it up. Now that people are doing comedy again, I think I am soon. Do you have any advice for up and coming comics like Jordan Hart or anybody else?
For Jordan, don't try to be famous. if that's the only reason why you want to get into comedy is being famous, there's a lot easier ways to do it.
Yeah.
Shoot up a school. Be famous in a day.
Well, Zoom. So right now they're teaching at home, so it's gonna be a little bit tough. But once we beat this fucking Corona, no.
Mom, can I have the car? Why? I'm going to shoot up a school. It's going to take me all day.
Like Santa Claus. Do you have any plugs coming up? Any plugs?
Yeah,
I've got.
I'm going to be in Bolingbrook at CG's Comedy, October 30th and 31st.
30th. Okay.
Doing Halloween there at CG's Comedy, which is I've booked that. This is the 4th time I've booked that.
Because you were in August, right? They shut you down. What county is that? Right?
Yeah. Well, I was there in March.
Okay.
I was there in June. I think I was there in August. And it was really funny. I was supposed to be at the Asbury House Coffee. They were doing the patio shows.
The patio show.
And it was really funny. And it's Glenn over at CG's said, "Oh, you think you're doing that show tonight?" And he called up my phone. He goes, "Hi, I wanted to see that show at the Asbury House tonight, but I see you booked Tim Slagle, so I'm guessing it's going to be canceled." And sure enough, it was rained out. It was an outdoor. So October 30th and 31st in Bolingbrook, unless Pritzker rolls back the level. So.
And then what's you got social media?
Tim Slagle.
Tim Slagle.
Yeah, at Tim Slagle is pretty much everything.
Is that your TikTok?
Parler, Twitter. I don't have TikTok yet. Parler,
Okay.
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all Tim Slagle.
Parler. Is that Parler? Parler, that's a new one, right?
Yeah, that's a new one.
Is that uncensored one finally? Or there's not
that's the
one?
idea. That's what they're saying. It's uncensored. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still
Still, all right.
there's a learning curve on all those stupid things.
So I am on Instagram, the Lobo Podcast. Like, subscribe. If you do the rating thing on the iTunes, listen to me. But if you do that, I'll read those. If you want stickers, I got some new stuff coming right now. There's some stuff getting shipped and some peanuts coming from Texas. I always haven't put peanuts in there. They're from HEB. They're delicious. And do I have anything else to say? I'll talk about my love life later, but somebody told me not to talk about it.
Don't.
And I won't. I'll tell you after. So, and again, James Webb, the People of the Comedy Studio.
Hey.
If you want a podcast to record, is a great place. We have these thick, girthy SMB7 microphones. Look at this, right? It looks sexual, but it's not, huh? They're not. What is it called? Growing out of shower. Okay, Lobo Dan. There we go.
Lobo Dan, Lobo